What's going on, guys? Khalipa's Tech here, coming back at you with another video. In this video, we're going to be doing a comparison between the Samsung Galaxy S9 and the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus. These are two really popular older flagship phones, and today we're going to be going over their differences to help you decide which one is right for you. Before we go any further, I do want to remind you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It helps out the channel a lot. That being said, let's get into it. So the Samsung Galaxy S9 has a 5.8-inch Super AMOLED display with a resolution of 1440p, a PPI of 570, an aspect ratio of 18.5 by 9, and a screen-to-body ratio of 83.6%. We got the front-facing camera up here on the bezel, and this camera is 8 megapixels. Right now, I do have the brightness at 100%, and I would say it does look really good. Overall, the phone has a super thin design, and the back of it has a glossy material that, even though it's super glossy and does pick up fingerprints, they're not too bad. This phone is on the smaller side, I would say, especially by today's standards. A 5.8-inch display is really not that big, but being small and really thin as well does have its advantages, because this phone is really easy to hold in your hand and carry in your pocket. So if you don't really care about seeing things really large on the display, then it should be alright. The Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus has a 6.4-inch dynamic AMOLED display with a resolution of 1440p, a PPI of 550, an aspect ratio of 19 by 9, and a screen-to-body ratio of 88.3%. We got a hole punch here for the front-facing camera, and this camera is 10 megapixels. As you can clearly see here, the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus is much larger than the Samsung Galaxy S9, but at the same time, it's still just as thin, and the display quality looks just as good. So in that sense, I would say just the main difference here is that the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus is much bigger than the Samsung Galaxy S9, and this is going to have a real good advantage when it comes to consuming content. So if you're watching a video, playing a game, and stuff like reading, you're gonna see everything a lot larger, and that's gonna be not only easier on your eyes, but it's also gonna have just a better experience in general. So I would say that as far as the display goes, the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus does have an advantage. And even though it is bigger, since the phone has a thinner design, it's still pretty easy to hold in your hand and carry in your pocket without any problems. The Samsung Galaxy S9 has 64 gigabytes of internal storage with microSD card expansion, and the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus has 128 gigabytes of internal storage, also with microSD card expansion. So both of these phones have a lot of storage, but I would say the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus does have the advantage here because it has double the storage of the Samsung Galaxy S9. For the average user, this really isn't going to matter a whole lot, but if you're more of a power user who has lots of apps and lots of photos and videos and pretty much lots of everything, the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus is going to have a huge advantage because it does have double the space in addition to microSD card expansion. These days, things like apps and even the system are all getting larger and larger, so having more storage is really important. Both of them do have a good amount of storage, but I would say the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus does have a little bit better. Both of these phones have wireless charging, and they both have fingerprint scanners and face unlock. The difference here is really in the placement of the fingerprint scanner. The Samsung Galaxy S9 has a fingerprint scanner right here on the back. Now this fingerprint scanner is really fast and responsive. It does work really well, as you can see here. Let me show you one more time. It is really fast, no issues with functionality, but the placement of it just doesn't sit right with me. It's so close to the camera that it would be real easy to accidentally touch the lens, and I don't think it's really practical to have a fingerprint scanner that's so close to the camera that you're always touching the lens every time you unlock your phone. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. The Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus, on the other hand, has an in-display fingerprint scanner instead that I really like. This fingerprint scanner works just as well, as you can see there. Let's do that one more time. And there we go. It's probably even a little bit faster, honestly. And I like the in-display fingerprint scanner a lot because not only is it in a real good spot that's super easy to use, and even though this phone is on the older side, the in-display fingerprint scanner of the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus really gives the phone a nice modern look. Taking a look at the rear camera setups of these phones, the Samsung Galaxy S9 only has one rear camera, and this camera is 12 megapixels. Really no features here. This phone also doesn't even have portrait mode, so if you're looking for a camera with lots of nice features, definitely keep that in mind. Now that's not to say the pictures aren't good. This phone does take really high quality photos that you would expect from a flagship phone, and in addition to that, you can shoot 4K videos in the rear camera and 1440p in the front. The Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus has a 12 megapixel rear camera, a 12 megapixel telephoto lens, and a 16 megapixel ultra-wide camera. For video, the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus can shoot 4K videos in both the rear and the front cameras. So the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus has a huge advantage here. This phone can do basically everything the Samsung Galaxy S9 can do, and a lot more as well. The quality of the photos taken by the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus is the same, if not a bit better, than the photos taken by the Samsung Galaxy S9, and I personally like the videos taken by the S10 Plus a little bit better as well. I think the autofocus with this phone is greatly improved from the S9. And in addition to that, the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus has more advanced features like the ultra-wide camera and a telephoto lens, and this phone does also have portrait mode. If you're a more casual user of the camera who still likes to take nice photos here and there, the Samsung Galaxy S9 is going to be perfectly fine for you. But if you're a more frequent user who likes to use more advanced features like an ultra-wide camera, the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus is going to be the better option. Internally, the Samsung Galaxy S9 is getting 4 GB of RAM with the Qualcomm Snapdragon 845 processor. I ran a Geekbench 5 benchmark test on this phone, and it came back with a single core score of 485 and a multi-core score of 2118. So despite being a little bit on the older side, this phone's gonna be able to do pretty much anything you need it to. Processing power wise, this phone's quite a bit above any brand new phone you're gonna find in this price range. So if you're looking for a phone that has the power of a flagship phone, but only have the budget of an entry-level or mid-range phone, the Samsung Galaxy S9 is a great option. Internally, the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus is getting 8 GB of RAM with the Qualcomm Snapdragon 855 processor. I ran a Geekbench 5 benchmark test on this phone as well, and it came back with a single core score of 730 and a multi-core score of 2643. It's not completely out of the league of the Samsung Galaxy S9. In fact, they're pretty much in the same ballpark. The Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus is going to be the better option here. To give you an idea of what these processors look like in action, I'm going to do a quick demonstration. We're going to start by opening Google Chrome. So as you can see, these phones opened Google Chrome almost at the same exact time. I honestly couldn't even tell which one was faster. Let's try a web page and see if this is consistent. So once again, pretty much the exact same. We're gonna try one more. So the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus did load up the web page a little bit faster, but it was really close. So on paper, the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus is significantly faster than the Samsung Galaxy S9, but in practice, unless you're doing something really intense like high performance gaming or video editing with large files, or something that really takes advantage of that extra RAM and processing power the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus has, then you're really not going to notice a difference. So if you're looking for the most processing power for your money, if you're really more on a budget and still want the processing power of a flagship phone, I would say the Samsung Galaxy S9 is technically the best deal just because you can get this phone for such a good price nowadays. Whereas with the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus, it does have a lot more processing power than the Samsung Galaxy S9, but unless you're going to be doing really intense activities that absolutely need a lot more RAM and a lot more processing power, since both of these phones are really at the top anyway, there's not going to be a huge difference in performance. So there is a pretty noticeable difference in the battery size of these two phones. The Samsung Galaxy S9 has a 3000 mAh battery. This supports 15 watt fast charging, which is honestly a really small battery. The Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus has a 4100 mAh battery. It also supports 15 watt fast charging. So the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus is a lot better as far as the battery goes. Both of these phones are several years old, the Samsung Galaxy S9 of course being the older of the two. So even if you get one that's only lightly used, the battery is going to be a little bit more degraded than a brand new phone, so keep that in mind. And that is really why it's even more important to get a phone with the best battery you can, because with the Samsung Galaxy S9, this phone's battery was small to begin with, but now it's a little bit older, and pretty much every one you're gonna find is a little bit used at least. So you're looking at a 3000 mAh battery that's been degraded a little bit, so it's gonna have lower capacity, lower life per charge. It's gonna be really on its way out. So unless you're near a charger at all times, or don't have to use your phone too much throughout the day, this is gonna be a big inconvenience for you. The Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus, on the other hand, I can tell you from experience because I use this phone personally all the time, still does have really good battery life that rivals even some phones that were built today. So in conclusion, which of these devices is better? I would say overall, pretty much spec for spec, the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus is better in every way. Now the real question here is which phone provides more value? And honestly, when it's put that way, I would give it to the Samsung Galaxy S9. You can get both of these phones for a really good price, but with the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus, you're looking at anywhere between $300 and $400 for a phone of this specific variant. On the other hand, the Samsung Galaxy S9 is oftentimes going for under $200, and really, when you're putting the general price of these two phones into consideration, the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus is almost double the price of the Samsung Galaxy S9, and the performance difference is really not that different. I would say unless your primary concern is the camera, the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus is only like 25% better than the Samsung Galaxy S9. The processing power is great on both. They're both flagship phones, so both of them are gonna have that kind of performance. And as you can see from the demonstration, most of the time you really won't even notice that much of a difference. As far as the display goes, the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus is a little bit better because it's much bigger, but other than that, the quality of the display is pretty much the same. The only situation I would say the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus is going to be right away the better option for you is if your primary function of your phone is to shoot videos and take photos, because the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus has so many more features than the Samsung Galaxy S9 that it's not even debatable. This phone is better in every way as far as the camera is concerned, but other than that, I would say overall the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus is the better device. But in terms of value, the Samsung Galaxy S9 is a much better deal. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you found this information useful as well. If you did, be sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And as always, I will see you in the next video.